You could be worried a bit. Are you really worried? You may have many things at the back of your mind. Let's go to today's video. Are you really worried about being unable to effectively communicate in both native language and English? We are living in a tech savvy world in the digital era, and you may notice that you've stopped communicating and even expressing less compared to your childhood. Or maybe 10 years back, you were more communicative. You were able to read more. You were able to focus more and even concentrate. Today, the case and the scenario is such that we are living in a fast world. And maybe your thoughts are too fast. You may want to express something very simple, but you're unable to do that. Now, this has got something to do with your focus, attention span, concentration, all these things, and of course, the lifestyle. Now, here we may have to slightly modify and alter the lifestyle. Now, what are you really worried about? Speaking? Speaking fluently? You've been putting in a lot of effort, but you're unable to speak fluently. You're unable to even express the simple thoughts. Why you're unable to speak fluently? Why you're unable to go with the flow, speak just like that, even in your native language? Many people face this. They get stuck even while speaking their native language, not because of lack of words, but because they are unable to express even the simple thoughts. Today's video is all about that. My name is Renee Rose Matthew. I'm a CELTA certified tutor. And let's begin today's topic. Now, there is a simple way to decode these things. Some of you are not interested in reading or even listening, and some days can really be boring. You may not feel like sitting down and reading anything. But once you're used to it, you'll feel as if you lack something or that you're missing something in your life. Now, coming to 4 words that's going to help you. These are the 4 words that can really change your perspective and maybe your thought angle, the way you think towards developing a skill, not just language skills, okay? Because we are dealing with language therapy sessions, we are dealing with communication skills and also mindset. If you really need help in a professional way, you have to approach counselors, and there are experts for this. Now here, if you feel a dip for some time, maybe these pointers can help you, especially when it comes to developing skills. Now, what about these words? Let's look at these words randomly. Just comment in the comment section how many words you know or how many words you're familiar with. Most of the words are easy. You would have heard of these words at least once in your lifetime. Okay, but there are certain things associated with these words. I'm not referring to the meanings. I am referring to many other aspects. Okay, and I'm speaking about these things. I'm sharing this knowledge and awareness because I've been into this field for a very long time, training people, training the adult learners. The first one, you would have been learning English as a subject and you would have got used to the mechanical way of doing things, the monotonous way of doing things. Maybe you have a job now and you're trying your best to level up, to upskill, and to become more informative, to induce the knowledge somehow, but it's not happening organically and that is worrying you. Maybe you're able to study for 5 days and the next 2 weeks you may feel that it is stale, it's stagnant. That's because you've been used to the mechanical way of learning something. Rote learning, there are people who just mug up lines. I'm sorry to say that there are a lot of English professors who just mug up lines and come and regurgitate in front of the class, unable to express even the simple thoughts that's given there. Now, this is a problem with our education system, but we should be happy that it is changing because of the hard work of many people. Still, it requires thorough revision, a change in the mindset towards education from both parents and students and the stakeholders. So coming to mechanical, what you can do is eliminate all those directions and guidelines that make it mechanical for you. Now, there are people who say you have to always focus on speaking like a native. You don't have to, because English language teaching and learning says nothing about this. When you speak in Hindi, when you speak in Odia or Telugu, you are making mistakes. Only thing is you're comfortable with your native language. Similarly, native speakers of English are easy. They're comfortable with the language. They are able to express effortlessly, but that doesn't mean the sentences are right and they have the technical knowledge. When you're a non native speaker of English, you gain both the technical knowledge, like there is a conscious learning that is happening. Both the technical knowledge and the effort is put in to learn. And over the years, if you have been consistent, you would have noticed that you are improving, you're progressing. So, both technical knowledge, practice, everything put together make you a mentor, a guide. We have a lot of professors and teachers teaching our languages. It's not because they're not good at it or because they are proficient, it's just that they work hard. They could have sat in one corner saying that I know the language, it's my native language, why should I take the degree? Technical knowledge is different. So that is where we have this word, technical. The problem is many people think that it's okay if you know grammar, the technical side, some idioms and phrases. But you're unable to comment properly. You're even unable to comment simple thoughts there in the comment section. You make a lot of spelling mistakes. You're making those basic mistakes where you forget the tenses subconsciously. It happens because of your learning methods, because you're immersed only in the technical knowledge, not the pragmatic approach towards learning a language. And that can make it very difficult for you when you try conversing with people. Because conversations are part of real life, events, activities, and happenings. There you need some technical knowledge, but it should be a holistic approach towards language. The third point is many people become apologetical. They become apologetical, that is, they keep saying sorry to themselves. Sometimes they regret. They say, I was not able to go to an English medium school, and that is why I'm unable to speak a language. You should understand that there are people from different parts of the world trying to figure out the technical side and the beauty of a foreign language. So, when you try learning a foreign language, it's not about the school. Of course, it has got some part, it has got some role in your life, but that doesn't mean you cannot work on it. If you're going to build walls, boundaries, and if you're going to discriminate people, if you're not going to understand the culture of a language, you will not be able to understand the people, the background, the history. When we learn English literature, we are taught history also because we should know the evolution of language. We should know where it comes from, the roots, the origin. It's not that it's all theoretical, but it's all about knowing the roots. Similarly, you are trying to embrace the culture when you learn a new language. That is important. So, language learning is not just about learning the culture, it is tolerating, accepting, at least acknowledging those things. So, there are a lot of people who follow the native speakers but still make those silly mistakes. It's because of your methods. The pedagogy, the methodology of learning is wrong. Definitely, it's wrong. And there is something known as ELT, which defines the parameters towards learning language, learning the English language as a foreign one, as a second language. Okay? And do you think only non native speakers of English need to take up this course? No. Native speakers of English also get immersed. They learn different types of courses while they teach the language. Just like us, we have scholars in our own native languages. And it is not just through qualification where they do the post graduation, graduation, the research, and all that. They keep learning. They are fluent in the language, and why do they learn? What is the requirement? It is important. And then comes the last point, organical. So, what happens when you have been doing things in a mechanical way, when you build walls, when you build boundaries, when you discriminate people, or when you discriminate the self, what happens? You will keep repeating those technical methods. Technically, what is happening? Technically, the grammar, technically, only the native speakers are good, or technically, I was not able to go to an English speaking school. All these things come to your mind, and then again, you feel sorry. So instead of taking the action, you keep repeating the same methods, just like most of the sentences. You know the difference between past tense and present tense, but still you make mistakes. It's because of lack of focus and the wrong methods of learning. It's not enough that you just speak and just say something and escape. That's not going to work out. Okay? There is a very big difference between a mentor, guide, and a native speaker of a language. We all are native speakers of our own language, but we cannot guide if we don't have the technical knowledge, the information, and the subject knowledge. It's very important. Okay? It's not just about accent and pronunciation, there is much more to it. So, in order to connect, in order to reconnect, that would be the best word, where you have to connect back to the organic self. You may notice that you read more, you connected more, you socialized more during your childhood, not because we didn't have the internet or we were not in the digital era. It's just that you had some interest towards those activities. But today we have a lot of options. We have reels, we have social media, we have everything that is too fast. And you could be loaded with different options and challenging options where you're unable to filter the right one for you. Recently, I wanted to learn the advanced levels of painting. I'm not saying I'm a full-time artist, but I wanted to learn more about shadowing in the painting technique. And I tried connecting with different artists. Of course, all of them are genuine, but I wanted to find a tutor that could train me, understand my level, and help me develop towards developing the skills. So I was confused. I didn't know what to choose, how to begin. And then I helped myself reconnect with a person who is able to guide me through understanding my work schedule. I'm not forcing somebody else to adjust to my schedule, but it's more about collaboration, coordinating, and finding the best way to work on my skills through that artist's skill and expertise. So, connecting to the organic self takes a lot of time, but it is very easy if you're consistent. Only your mind can do that. If you're going to be rigid, if you don't have the growth mindset, if you keep comparing yourself to people and thoughts and ideas that are very rigid, that you have been following mechanically for a very long time, it's not going to help you. So you need to help yourself to connect back, to reconnect to the organic self, because we all are organic in nature. We are not made of metals and chips to speak like a robot. And we have to stretch our mind, we have to work on skills through repetition, registration, recycling. Okay? And if you do that, it's going to be there forever. Maybe things will get erased from your memory, but your intelligence is beyond what you can think. It is beyond all that man has discovered through the digital age over the years. So understand the significance and the power that is there within you. It's not that you can change the world in a day or two. It's not that you can turn the poles over, but it's more about how you believe, trust, and work without wasting your time through consistency, through gratitude, and self learning. This should be your approach, not rigidity. It's more about understanding the perspectives, comprehending the different methods. You may not know the different methods that's used when it comes to English language learning. There are more than 100 methods. And it's quite funny, weird to listen to people speak out of ignorance, out of lack of awareness, I would say, when they say that you have to do only this to speak fluently or to work on a language. It's misinformation. It is something that misleads others. So, being into this profession for almost 7 to 8 years, I understand that AI tools are important. Today's technology is important, but nothing is more important than consistency, showing up, believing in yourself, and the way you express things. If you're repeating the same errors even after focusing on pressure, stress, and forcing yourself to go for something that is beyond your control, then that's not going to work. And I can see many people forcing themselves to speak like a native speaker. None of the native speakers say that you have to speak like us. At least ELT, the proven research methods, do not say you have to speak like the native speakers. You can listen to them, but they also make mistakes. You have to go for the right methods and talk to tutors, mentors, and guides who can really help you, who've got that technical knowledge when it comes to helping you out. Okay? You can also speak to co learners who've got some experience guiding others. But please filter, because that is very important when it comes to the social media. I also learn a lot of things today online. So there I can see a lot of options, and I know how people get misled. I know how people lack the awareness. But remember, we don't know everything. Practice, experience, the time you take to explore and connect with different people will definitely tell you. It's your instinct. It's your analytical skill that tells you something is wrong. Happy learning.